Alright, so today I wanted to do a kind of update on my toolbox tour. I have done some rearranging, and I wanted to kind of show you what I did, my thoughts, and kind of tell you why I did what I did. But let's jump right in. So up here is just kind of a storage area just for general purpose stuff. I have some keys and kind of a wash rag. I'm letting that dry. But we'll go right into the top here. This drawer is pretty much the same. Screwdrivers, got flatheads, Phillips, Torx, micro, snap-on set. I think that's new from the last video. It's not really new, it was just somewhere else. It's a classic snap-on set. It's pretty old, and then so like those are snap-on, 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 and then these are Craftsman and Cobalt for this. And then I have some other various kind of micro screwdrivers there. So nothing too exciting, but just kind of organized there. Next drawer is a wrench drawer. So what I have here is just standard combination wrench, ratcheting combination. I have long ratcheting with the flex head on all of these, and then I have metric line wrenches. So those are for like brake lines, hydraulic lines, stuff like that, where you need to go around the line, but they just have more points of contact than a regular wrench. So a regular wrench is going to have 3 points of contact. That has 5 points. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have some other line disconnect tools in an array of sizes. This is just Harbor Freight. Again, Harbor Freight. And then all these two are Tecton. This is Cobalt. But yeah, that's all metric. And so the next drawer is going to be similar. This is all SAE. I've got Cobalt combination, Harbor Freight line wrench, Tecton ratcheting, flex head, long handle. So I've got those, and just some miscellaneous wrenches. This is for my right angle grinder, and then my big right angle die grinder, and then my big angle grinder to switch out the ends. So next drawer down is again the junk drawer. I have some miscellaneous things in there. I kind of rearranged it a little bit to kind of clean it up. I got these 2 storage containers here to kind of keep everything kind of more neat, I guess you could say. So I have some scissors, long handled, razor blade, some spare vacuum tube, UV light kit, some spare safety glasses, an old glue gun, spare headlamp, and some thread tape, battery terminal cleaner, and an oil filter wrench. So moving on, we have this drawer here. This is kind of a specialty drawer slash safety. So I've got a RPM tachometer. I've got a carburetor adjustment toolkit. So this has all the tools and stuff like that that you need. I've got some spare keys to certain things, the keys to the toolbox as such. I have a feeler gauge, and then a metal gauge to kind of tell you the various metal thicknesses and stuff like that. I don't know if that'll pick up. It's got too much reflection on it, but just tells you the various sizes, kind of a quick measure. And then I have some safety equipment. I've got earplugs readily available, safety glasses, safety goggles, headlamp, flashlights, and then this is a chainsaw file kit. I have a Zippo in case you need to burn anything, and then I have just I didn't have anywhere else to put it, but it's a angle gauge to measure angles. Next drawer is pries and picks and punches. I also have two magnets. These are new. The magnets are for picking up stuff that you dropped that you can't get into easily and you need a magnet. I have, I believe all this stuff is new. This is a one of those tool poppers like Christmas trees and stuff like that, push pins. There's this style, and then I have another style here. So two of those. This is a tire patch roller, and then some miscellaneous Dremel bits for right now. I just haven't had time to put them with my other Dremel stuff. I have plastic pry bits, panel poppers and stuff like that. My Milwaukee pick set, cobalt, and then various punches. So yeah, that's it for that drawer. Next is air. So I have a blowgun, air chuck, different blowgun, tire gauge, tire pressure gauge slash filler, and then a valve stem core removal tool. So still have some more stuff I'm going to put in there eventually, but it's kind of where it is for now. Next drawer, I have ratchets and extensions. I don't know if this was the same as the last video. I'm sure there's some more stuff in here, but basically all the regular chrome ratchets are cobalt, and then these black handled with red, these are all Pittsburgh Pro. So they work fine, they're nice. Usually, as you can see, the Pittsburgh Pro stuff is longer than its comparable sizes for the most part. So for instance, regular quarter, Pittsburgh Pro 1/4 inch, regular 3/8, Pittsburgh Pro 3/8, regular 3/8 long with the flex head, regular 3/8 long with the flex head, quarter, and then large quarter with the flex head. But have a various array of like 12-inch extensions and these extensions, and then these are new for me. These are Blue Point 1/4 inch, just kind of like a micro ratchet, but this is kind of like a long handle version, and so it's got a push button lock, and it's switchable, so directional. And the other side, which is cool, you can put 1/4 inch bits in here, so like Phillips bits, Torx bits, whatever, and you can do that, and it ratchets as well, and you can change the direction on that as well. So there's a long one here, which is probably about 10 to 12 inches or so, I'd say, maybe about 10 inches, and there's a micro one here, which is about 4 inches. Same setup. So I love those. Saw someone else that had those, and I decided I needed them, and they have come in handy. I wouldn't recommend using this as something like if you were like really trying to pry on a bolt or a nut or something like that. I probably wouldn't use those. Although if they did break, you could just snap on and would replace them. But just those two little pieces there was. Well, these two pieces were about $100, $120, and then I got a little bit set to go with them. That was probably another 30 or 40 bucks, something like that. All in all, it came out to about 150. But yep, that's for that drawer. So next, big drawer here. Not too many changes in here. Just did a little bit of rearranging, but I guess what would be new from the last one is these Torx bits. These are 1/2 inch drive, and they go up high in numbers. So this is pretty much the lowest that it goes here is a T30, and it goes all the way up to a T70, if that'll focus. Yeah, so that, I've got a long 1/2 inch breaker bar here, and then I have all my deep well impact sockets, lug nut sockets, impact extensions. I think those are new. And then I have these 3/8 inch Allen bits. These are new. So I have a variety of metric and SAE sizes. I have to get a stand for that. Some new socket trays. I'm going to order some more of these. The one I'm going to get for this is, you know, kind of similar to this, but I got to get one for that. And then I got some swivel sockets coming, so I'll have a review video on those once I get those in and get a chance to use them. But everything else pretty much the same. I have my little 1/4 inch torque wrench, and then I have my Torx sockets and then these E-sockets. So the Torx are regular Torx and Torx inverted, you know, the TT. So that's it for that drawer. Next, pliers. I've got more pliers. Let's see where we can start. I guess I'll start back here. I have some new oil filter wrench pliers. They're just you know, generic from like the auto store. I needed some for a project that had a little bit more force than those small ones there. And then I recently, the other day, just picked up these Milwaukee pliers, just 2 of them to try them out. So I got some dikes since I messed up my other channel lock dikes. So I got some more of those. And then I got another Milwaukee needle nose. And then I have some of these Pittsburgh Pro, I mean not Pittsburgh Pro, they're just regular old Pittsburgh, but the micro plier set. This is just a little cheapo set, but they come in handy. They're definitely different. And then I have locking scissors, or locking, not scissors, they don't cut, but locking pliers, just like, you know, medical grade locking pliers. So kind of like clamps down. And then I have actual line clamps, so fuel lines, radiator hose lines, power steering lines, stuff like that. Kind of crimp down on those, and you can kind of lock it in place to keep fluid from gushing everywhere. So there's a set of 3 of those. And then I also got these, which I'm excited about. These are the Nipex, whatever, Cobra. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Nipex Cobra. I think these are like the 12-inch ones, but the kind of locking positional thing is excellent, and then the teeth on that thing are gnarly. It really does grab on, so if you're using it on a soft material, you kind of have to be careful. But other than that, everything else is the same. I want to organize it with, you know, putting them straight up and down, but right now in this toolbox I don't have a drawer that's deep enough to do that. That wouldn't just be a total waste of space. So this is what it is for now. Next drawer is kind of a mix of some stuff. So basically I have bits, you know, drill bits and impact bits for my 1/4 inch impact, and then this is the little bit set that I got with those ratchets. It's just a blue point bit set, so it comes with a bunch of different styles there. It's not really like a complete set, just kind of, I guess, generic, frequently used sizes, I guess you could say. So it wasn't a bad little get to go with those other ones, and then I just kind of keep some extra things that I need readily available in this little cup. So this is like a extension, and then some spare Phillips bits, and then I have some gloves, cut resistant leather glove. These are spare 3-inch cutting discs, and then I have all my angle grinder assortment discs here. Gloves, RZ masks, love these things. This is a cloth one, this is a neoprene one. Kind of like the neoprene one better. I wish I had kind of gotten that one first, but the cloth one would be fine too, as long as you are working in a little bit of a colder environment. So what is new? Oh, I guess I should mention these. I've got some step drill bits and some Forstner bits, and then kind of an extractor kit, and then a gauge for bolts and all that jazz. So comes in handy. So recently I got these yellow bins here. Yellow's not my favorite, but they were from Harbor Freight and they worked perfectly for what I needed and they were cheap. So these are all different bits, accessories, I guess you could say, to go with my new Milwaukee right angle die grinder. So these are the pads for the Scotch-Brite discs. So I've got those in here, got a soft, medium, coarse, and then I have 3-inch cutting discs with the mandrel for that. So the 3-inch cutting discs fit in there perfectly. And this is just very easy. You can see what you need, where you're at, and I had it in different bags and different places and all that stuff, so I'm glad to have this. Down here, 3 different sizes of 2-inch flap discs. Those are lovely to use. I like them a lot. And then I have the 3M roll-lock bristle discs. So all these are roll-lock. These 3 are roll-lock. Moving on over here, these are, I guess you could call them like a flap wheel, but in a circle, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you can put those in the end of there, and like if you were trying to widen out a hole or something like that, you would use these. And so there's 4 different grits of those. And then I have some spare 2-inch flap discs, the accessory pack that came with the roll-lock, 3M roll-lock. And then in here I have a, not 3M, but kind of a 2-inch backing plate that goes into the right angle die grinder. And it comes with like a ton of different grits of sandpaper. So I think it was like a 120 piece kit. So very convenient, very easy to store. I can see it all from here as soon as I open the drawer. So this is kind of how it's organized for now. Pretty cool. I'm happy with this. Not exactly the best use of space, but for now it will do. Bottom drawer down here that we've switched around. This is, I used to have my power tools in that small drawer, but now everything is in this big drawer to kind of keep track of it all. And yeah, what I'm gonna do eventually is I'm gonna weld up a similar design to this. This is the organizer that came to kind of fit in that drawer, but it fits in here perfectly fine. I'm just gonna do the same concept to continue it across and kind of go from there. But basically I have 1/2-inch mid-torque impact, 3/8 inch stubby impact, 1/4-inch impact driver, 1/2-inch regular drill, one of the new toys, the Milwaukee Fuel right angle die grinder. I have my Milwaukee 3/8 inch electric ratchet. I think this is new from since last video also. Is gonna be the Milwaukee Fuel hacksaw. And then I've had that, but it just wasn't in the toolbox, that jigsaw. So I had that. Also had this angle grinder, Milwaukee Fuel, holds 4.5 5-inch discs. And then also new is this heat gun. It goes from, you know, what is it, 100 degrees to 350 to 600 to 800 to 1000. So I love the adjustability. It's not battery powered, it is cable corded, but it's kind of what I went with. I wanted to get the M18 heat gun, but I wanted the variability instead of just 0 to 100. So that's it for that drawer. Moving on. This drawer is kind of an Allen wrench drawer. I didn't really have anywhere good to store these long Allen bits. I can always stack these 2 on top of each other to get more space, but I just didn't need it right now. But yeah, I have a standard Allen And then these new Allen wrench keepers. These are from Tecton. Just super easy and convenient to get to. And then it's got a size, complete sizing. And then they have the balls at the end for working in angled areas. These are Tecton as well. Then I just use some Kaizen foam, cut them to fit for the bits. Same thing with the metric. Metric again, Tecton, all of it. In here, I've got soldering stuff, cloth, sanding cloth, flux, solder, pipe cutter, brush, torch, torch end. I have the gas somewhere else. Hacksaw bits, jigsaw bits, and then a thermal gun. This is new as well, Milwaukee thermal gun. Point and shoot, get your temperature. Next drawer, batteries. So I have all my M18 batteries, M12 batteries, and then this is a Milwaukee's red lithium batteries. It goes with my light up here. This is new as well. This magnetic rover floodlight from Milwaukee. Super bright, lasts quite a while with the big battery, so I definitely love it. It works good. But have 2 amp hour batteries. That's a 6 amp hour M12. These are 2 9 amp hours, 4 5 amp hours, and then I also keep some batteries in some of my most used tools. So the impacts both have, that has a 5 amp hour, this has a, what is that, 4 amp hour, and then these two both have the 2 amp hours, nothing in that, and then in this one I have a 2 amp hour as well. So lots of batteries. And then in the truck I have what is it, 1 6 amp hour battery and 1 4 amp hour battery for the Milwaukee stuff that I have in there. So I guess I could tell you that basically in the truck I keep another identical 3/8 stubby. It's got the 6 amp hour battery, and then I have an inflator in there that's got a 4 amp hour battery to go with it, and then I have a spare 4 amp hour battery on top of that, I do believe, but I could be wrong about that last battery. So last drawer, big drawer, basically hammers. I guess hammers that would be new are gonna be the dead blow. I believe that welding hammer, you can probably barely see it, but the welding hammer was always had that for years. And then I have a new 32 ounce ball peen rubber mallet. Basically just has 2 different types of rubber, non-marking, marking. I think it weighs a pound, right? Yeah, I think it's a pound or 2 pounds, something like that. It's probably just a pound. And then I have wire brushes for when I'm using my welder. These are big heavy duty ones. And this is just a little scrap kind of assortment. Nylon, metal, brass. So kind of handy in there. But the biggest change for me, I reorganized most of the drawers, not all of them, but most of them. And then over here on the end, what I did was I took one of these Harbor Freight kind of parts tray, I guess they consider them parts trays. So what I did was I did that, and then I took my step drill bit and then just drilled holes in it. I haven't had a chance to paint it yet because I might drill some more holes in it, I don't know. But basically these are all my pry bars, Pittsburgh set, 4 pry bars, and then here I drilled a hole to, the hole is normally like that. I widened it out to fit the end of these air blow guns in here. So those 2 just sit there, have a long one, 20 inch, and then a short 4 inch. Those are just convenient for quick reach, so I can hook them up to the compressor. And then I stored the files out here as well. So this one, I gotta get it just right. But the files, 3 different kinds of those, and then I have one of these, this long 3/8 extension that I've had for a long time. Decided to go ahead and put that out here. So it's got a pretty good magnet on it. Super excited about that. I would definitely recommend anyone doing that and then just sticking it to the side of the box. I tried looking for like a pry bar holder and stuff like that. But I mean, this thing was like 11 bucks from Harbor Freight. Drill some holes in it and then slap some more black paint on it once I'm done, and it's gonna be a good buy. So definitely a good storage option for longer stuff if you can do it. Definitely a good option. So next side, I got spray can holder. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with these holes yet. I might, you know, you could put some screwdrivers here if you had some that you used a lot or something like that. And then I have some electrical contact cleaner, which I like using, and then some brake clean. And then I have some welding magnets here, and then my battery chargers here on the side. So that pretty much is it for the toolbox section. Another big change that I did was I kind of bought this U-line storage cabinet, and this holds all the big stuff. So I was wasting a lot of space in the toolbox holding things that I kind of didn't need to have in there. So I got this cabinet. It's 36 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and I think it's like 42 inches high. It's 3 shelves, 1, 2, 3, and then I have fluids down here, fluids, lubricants, car cleaning stuff. And up here I have all my big cases for, you know, I'll go through it, and then up here some more small stuff. So I guess to start up here at the top, I have a variety of zip ties. I've been needing some zip ties, so I just went ahead and just got a bunch of different varieties, different lengths. And then I have a 3M respirator. Haven't gotten to use it yet. I have a project that I'm gonna be using it for painting with some spray paint, so I want to check it out, see how it kind of works. And then I have just a bag of spare, kind of blanking on it, but it's wire loom, and then some push pins, some backup, some spare stuff, earplugs, just kind of junk. And then I've got my hydraulic pressure tester, windshield repair kit that I haven't got to use yet because it's winter time, and then some spare Gorilla Grip gloves. And I have some oil filters, some extra air bits for the new compressor and hose and all that stuff that I recently got. You can check out that on I have a video of that stuff on my channel now. So I have that, and then I have some lighter fluid, Loctite, dielectric grease, some extra thread tape, because I got a big pack, like a 5-pack, caliper depression tool, and then a bunch of different bits over here. So I have some of my Sharpies and touching paint in this airtight container. Have some rubber clamps, P-clamps, some clear heat shrink tubing, tire repair kit. What is that? These are cotter pins. These are new as well. These are you know, zinc steel and stainless steel threaded riv nuts. And then I have some more rubber, not O-rings, but grommets, and then some Zerks, some regular old hose clamps, some cheapos. I need to get some stainless steel ones as well. And then here I have some blunt tip needles with syringes. That's new. Okay, so next shelf, I've got 2 half-inch torque wrenches. Got a click type Armstrong here, and then a Harbor Freight digital. So this Armstrong one goes from 25 to 250, and then this Quinn one goes from 12.5 to 250. Those are in foot-pounds. So I have that. Then I have the digital torque wrench is new. The Pittsburgh Tap and Die set. I had a Tap and Die set before, but it was kind of rusting and missing some stuff, so I went ahead and got this. It's like 50 bucks. Not a bad buy. Astro Pneumatic riv nut kit. Basically came with some riv nuts, but it's basically just the tool and the bits that you need to adapt to the different sizes. So I got that. That's new. I was excited to have that. I'm going to use it on a few projects, so I went ahead and got that to fit in here. Next, I have a compression tester. So that is from Amazon. Has different various tips in there for different size spark plugs. This is a OBD2 scanner tool / TPMS tool. So you can reset TPMSs for different cars and read OBD2 codes. So that's nice to have. That's new as well. Soldering iron, that's not new. Then this is new. This is a dial indicator, just Harbor Freight. Then I bought this Harbor Freight brake Plier kit that I needed. I was in a little bit of a pinch working on a project, so I just got that. I think it was like 50 bucks. Works with compressed air. Not a bad kit, but if you could spend a little bit more money for something that you might need, I'll show you the other one. I won't break it out, but the other one I have is a pressure kit. It costs like, 3 times as much, but works a little bit differently. Then I have a regular rivet kit. This is not new. This is the Blue Point rivet kit. Brake flaring tool, or double flaring tool, I guess I should say. That's new. Then I have dial indicator. That's not new. Map gas for the torch. And then I have this little container here that I decided to put all of my wire wheels in. I was tired of poking my hands on them and stuff like that, so I just threw them all in here. Then I've got that rubber wheel as well. So have that, and then let's see if we can move on. This is just got this today. This is like a catch can for the new brake bleeding system that I got. So that is new for me today. Bottom drawer, bottom shelf. Have some greases, my K&N filter cleaners for my air filter and cabin filter. Tubes of grease, brake fluid, brake clean, rust penetrating PB blaster, spare, dielectric grease, Royal Purple engine oil, NICs, brake caliper grease, some PVC rubber cement, some engine assembly lube for when I had to rebuild my lawnmower engine, gasket maker, and then a variety of car cleaning stuff from Ammo. So that kind of sums up this cabinet. Super excited by the cabinet. It's new, but came with a dent, of course. And then up top, I don't normally have the backpack blower here, but I do have this kind of junk, not junk, but just cheapo catch pan for general stuff. Then I have my Milwaukee M18 Grease Gun there. And then under the actual toolbox, I have two 16-quart catch pans that kind of, you can store it in there, and then I haul it away to the recycling. But up here, I have my new Mityvac pressure bleeding system. Basically, you hook it up to, you pour fluid in there, hook it up to the master cylinder, pump it up with pressure, and then you just bleed the brakes at each one of the calipers, and then that's what I have that little catch can for. You just catch it in there. So super convenient, and I would definitely recommend it, but it is pricey. But I'm gonna be showing that on 2 projects that I'm gonna use it on. I'm doing a brake job on my car and my truck, so I'm gonna need that, because on the car I'm gonna be doing lines, calipers, just painting the calipers. Then I'm gonna do rotors and pads. Then on the truck I'm gonna do pads and rotors, and I'm gonna paint the calipers as well. But then up here, that is a mower blade sharpener. Then I have my welding supplies up here. So I got my mask and my jacket and hat and gloves spare helmet welding mask parts. Let's see what else is up there. Oh, welding wire, MIG wire, car polisher, car cleaning stuff, and then, you know, 2-cycle oil, fishing stuff, and then spare mower stuff like small engine. I got spark plugs, air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, all that jazz. So I don't want to take too long. That kind of concludes that. Definitely check out my channel if you want to kind of see any more of, you know, what you saw in the video. I have videos on most of the stuff. Obviously there's more in the garage that I'm not showing you, but again, there's probably videos on that, or there will be videos on that. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.